Hey, Beanie here, and if your Monday mornings constantly feel like chaos, everyone's running around a lot but not a lot's actually getting done, then this video is for you. I'm going to run you through a 90-day plan that's just behind me here that I've used 3 times in the last 18 months to turn around reactive firefighting teams into well-oiled machines. You'll see exactly how we move from hand-cranked reactive operations to teams that operate with clarity and cadence, which deliver compounding results. I'm going to show you how to use concordance, a structured weekly rhythm, and a few seriously underrated fundamentals. Watch the plan, and if it resonates and you think I might be the Ryan that you need, then reach out. Alright, if today already feels chaotic, that's not a failure. It's a signal. And what I want to show you right now is why Monday keeps doing this and how we deliberately use it to our advantage instead of keep fighting it. How we can do that exactly will be covered when I do the ORCA later on, and a question that Christian Bukosis threw up this morning. Here's the crux of it, okay? This is from this book that I just read called Intentional by Chris Butler. Summed up in this one sentence. There's an old Zen saying of unknown origin that directs us to sit in meditation for 20 minutes a day unless we're too busy, in which case we should sit for an hour. Don't need to, well, you can use meditation if you want to, but we don't take the time to assess what's going on to be able to stop Manic Monday. All we do is go straight into firefighting mode and react. Anyway, day 71 or 90, ORCA today. I've got this process pretty much set. If you want to kill Manic Monday forever, sometime in the next 90 to 180 days, and you want to jump on and do an ORCA session with me live here on LinkedIn, jump in and be the who that goes in that guest spot. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here. Why is that not showing up? Technical difficulties. Ready, we haven't got started yet. That's awesome. Right, so that should come up in a sec. You probably feel like this person right here. Need to get everyone on the same page and keep them on it. Even when you do manage to get them on the same page somewhere through the week, as soon as you come in, you hit Monday, Manic Monday kicks back in with a vengeance, and we're back to looking like this again on Monday morning. We need to get mission, operations, and execution all in alignment. We're never going to do that while we're not focused on getting rid of the non-value added activity. While we keep being busy, keep firefighting, keep reacting, Manic Monday is always going to stay Manic Monday. All you got to do to spin this around is find 1% of your day, which equates to 14.4 minutes. That's enough to get you started, to kick this process off. You need a who that's going to be the single point of accountability to make sure that this happens, not when everyone feels like it, not on the days when you're not too busy, every day. You don't do this, don't not do this because you're too busy. You don't do it because you're too busy because you don't do it. Chicken and egg. This is the answer to the age-old question of chicken and egg. ORCA comes first. What comes first, busyness or ORCA? I mean, calm or ORCA? The answer's ORCA. Everyone on the same page? What comes first, ORCA or same page? ORCA. ORCA is the answer. We need to be able to create alignment, which is what the ORCA process does. And we need daily action. We need this loop running. If you're going to stop Manic Monday from popping up, cropping up, getting worse and worse and gathering momentum, we're 5 Mondays into 2026 already. January is gone. Don't know if you notice or not, we're into February. We need action to create resilience. Need to get our people to learn how to see waste and flow, stop and fix things when they pop up, instead of getting a fire extinguisher and go psh, and putting a band-aid on it. That'll do for now. We need to stop and fix it properly. Get our lessons learned and share them later laterally across the organisation. The who can do that for you is critical. All right, there's a question for you, which I haven't put up yet. If this feels uncomfortably familiar, keep watching. This is where you'll see why Monday keeps repeating. I think that we've already seen that. I'm not going to harp on this too long today. Nothing changes, nothing changes. So what are we going to do differently? I said before there was, and do our ORCA process right now. ORCA is the answer. Doing an ORCA process, taking 14.4 minutes out of your day to run this ORCA process every single day. This is the keystone habit to driving this change. So moving from what we normally got down here, which is the slowest possible way to try and change things and the least probability of it sticking, down in this corner down here, up to this corner up here, which is the fastest and highest probability of it sticking with the right who to get you there. The question that I put, that Christian Burkos posed this morning, and this is the crux of it. Do we move past bad days quickly or do we mine them deeply? The answer is we move past them quickly. Hit another week, another week, another week. We're 4 weeks gone already. We're into week 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're into week 5 already. We only had Christmas dinner just the other day. How many lessons learned have you found on a Manic Monday and actually done it? What did the previous 4 Mondays look like compared to today? Is it exactly the same? Tip in the answer is yes. All right, so let's get into the ORCA process. He's actually going to ask me that question and we're going to improve the ORCA process, start to ramp this up a bit more, a bit tighter. New shift. It is Monday, the 2nd of February, 2026. And that's a little bit slow today. Does this feel uncomfortably familiar? Just put a yes or no. You can message me if you want. If you don't want to put it in the chat, message me that question. Home ORCA, Homeorca. Normally transcribes that bit a little bit. Every time they'll spell out for it, it transcribes it perfectly. So it must be something to do with the way I enunciate, whatever it is. Yes, the live is in process right now. Yesterday's 3 must-do tasks. Verify full kit first task, write a physical Kanban ticket, run the daily live. So the physical Kanban ticket for today was to span 50 minutes on creating the Manic Monday post, which I did with a wingman. All 3 tasks were complete. So ORCA, if you haven't been here before, is objective. What's the objective for today? What's our priority? I'll call it either I've got my primary or a secondary. There's no priorities. It's not the primary, it's a secondary. ORCA is my primary objective every single day at the moment. State the one objective. What was today's one objective? Today's objective was to reach out and get a meeting booked. First task I did this morning. Didn't go and do 100 other tasks. I want to get this thing done. Do it first. It's the primary driver that's pushing me towards my Misogi, my number one thing, the most important thing for this year. Yes, the objective was achieved. It's amazing how much spare time you got. And you don't waste 9% of your time doing non-value added activity. You just focus on the effective. Remember, productive means you do more. Efficient means you do more with less. Effective means you do more of what works. You can be highly productive and highly efficient at doing non-value added activity. Doesn't make any real difference. Behaviour pattern's pretty well set. Plan my day the day before, have a clear understanding of the objective that I need to achieve, which is why I went and sent an email this morning and blocked in the meeting. Constraints that were removed, as I say, our main constraint was that one that we had last week, which was around time for money. But now that I've created that little graph that shows the difference between what I do for free and what I get paid for, that's no longer an issue. Yes, I use Wingman. I use Wingman basically for everything where I need to think something through properly and I need a really articulate output. So this is not telling you how to use AI. This is showing you it being used. This is a demonstration. This is how you use AI as a strategic thought partner. 14.4 minutes per day to remove this. Manic Monday, and align these three: mission, operations, and execution. Before I set the task, confirm the calendar branch. Tomorrow is a weekday. It ups or drops down the level of complexity depending on what sort of a day it is the next day, because that's the way that I've trained this GPT, trained this prompt, written the prompt. Did a really good session on that on the weekend actually, where I show you how I go and create a prompt. Something that a guy that I follow, Ed Dale, calls prompt wrangling. Way better. You go and have a look at how, I think it was Saturday, when I rewrote Saturday's post for Sunday. Go and have a look at how I used the AI to produce a premium product versus slop that most people produce with it. It's part of I actually spoke to a process in there where people are just running in and trying to use AI to fix everything. AI will not fix your shitty processes. It will 10 times the waste that's coming out of them. We'll do it a lot quicker. We need to eliminate before we even worry about whether we use AI or not. We need to create a process second for what does this actually look like from start to finish. Then we automate, not the other way around. Verify full kit for tomorrow, write a physical Kanban ticket, run the daily live. 3 from 3 was the daily execution index today. This is seeming monotone and boring. You've watched this ORCA process before. It's supposed to be. This is why, and again, if you go back to previous videos, we spoke about we have a big outcome goal, which keep people motivated. Then we have a smaller process goal, which is boring and is just about turning up every day. And we cut that into short pieces. So 10 days at a time. I'll show you how I'm tracking this tomorrow. Actually, the sheet that I've got, I haven't set it up today, but we'll start putting it into an Excel sheet. To start with, we just use a whiteboard because I like to keep the complexity out of it to start with. I don't want people to have to learn any new software, nothing. Everyone knows how to use that marker there and how to get one of these stick-on whiteboards from Officeworks. Stick it on anyway. You don't need to get permission or permits signed off to drill holes in the wall. You just stick it on the wall. Grab yourself some of this tape if you want to split it up a little bit and start using it. Start speaking to the stuff that's really important, the stuff that's going to move the needle. Park question as requested. Do we move past bad days quickly or do we bind them deeply? State your position now, 1 sentence. Okay, we're doing some really good work, but what we're not doing is much backwards and forwards because I do this by myself. I don't have a team. When we get to, I speak to the objective, speak to the results. It's only me giving context around the results. Then we don't, and the causes. How do we build that question into our daily ORCA so that it becomes part of the process? It should probably sit under causes, I'm thinking. It should be a prompt to come back, so a little bit more interaction between you and I, and we get even more value out of these sessions. Go and research, use your tools. Go and research Christian Boucousis, B-O-U-C-O-U-S-I-S, Afterburner Advantage. See what you can find out about how we could use that question, because he asked that question this morning on LinkedIn, how we could use that to improve this process. So what we're doing here is ORCAing the ORCA. So we're learning to see waste and flow. So if we ask that question, we can reduce the waste and increase the flow. Okay, so I've gone, that question's really, really good. So we'll run a process, we'll stop and we'll fix it now. Use ORCA. Lessons learned, photo and videos, get captured on video, and we're sharing it laterally because we're doing a live. So we're doing all this. My 3 key areas, my lane that I stick to, $1,000 per hour task, planning and prioritising my day. Second one, doing social media with extreme competence. And the third one, establishing, which is a 10K per hour task, establishing values and culture and maintaining it. Here's what the afterburner advantage and related execution practices tell us that you can use to refine ORCA's causes step and create richer questions like bucosis directly relevant to your process. What Afterburner's flawless execution flex framework is about. Spot, plan, brief, execute, debrief. This has been used with companies. Central to this methodology is structuring debriefing, not just what happened, but why and what that means for the next mission is clear in discipline terms. This is exactly what ORCA already does, but with one person. What we don't see in afterburst sources, there isn't a documented term called bucosis in the publicly indexed content around the afterburner. Yeah, you haven't listened to what I've said properly. I said to you, go and research Christian bucosis. I didn't say anything about there being a process called bucosis. You completely misinterpreted what I've given you in that prompt. Christian bucosis is the author who used to be a fighter pilot, and he wrote the Afterburner Advantage. This is his content. This is why you don't just take an answer from AI. You make it go and think, go and research. And you don't do less thinking for yourself, you do more thinking, deeper. Now he's off researching Christian bucosis. So let's see what he comes back with. Copy of mission instruction. You meant Christian bucosis. Author, yes. Order found, useful for ORCA. I know that. Insert the ORCA lot word, and this is a question immediately after step 3. For today, do we move on fast or mine it deeply? Perfect. And one line following it, depending choice. If fast, name one takeaway and close it. If mine, name the app. So what he's going to do now is after step 3, he say to me, do we just move on quickly today, or is there something that we need to dig deeper on? That's a good improvement. When it triggers, rule. Ask the question only when the day shows friction, defined as any of daily life, no. Step 0. If none of those skip, the day was clean, no mining required. Why it fits bucosis without breaking ORCA. It uses the same ORCA debrief logic. If you want to tighten it even tighter, lowest cognitive load, we can reduce it to a single binary line. Bad day handling, fast or mine. I want context around the question, so ask it the way, not the binary line, your other option. I want you to ask it. I want you to lock that in now. Tell me how you're going to lock it into this process and how it's going to roll out tomorrow. And I want you to put my 3 tasks for tomorrow at the bottom of it. I said this thing's called the wingman, not the fighter pilot. You're still flying the plane here. You just need the wingman looking over your shoulder and helping you out. Change the ORCA now locked. A micro step added to ORCA. It's not coaching, it's not planning, it's a debrief classification taken directly from Christian bucosis's debrief discipline. Where it sits, non-negotiable. The question is asked after step 3, causes, before step 4, actions. No earlier, no later, never skipped when triggered. When it triggers, the question is asked only if the day shows friction, defined as any of the daily live, no. Step 0, task 0, daily execution index 1, 2 or 3. If none of those are true, the question is skipped automatically. This keeps ORCA fast on good days. Exact wording, I will ask it like this. Today we show friction. Do we move past it or do we mine it deeply? Then I'll immediately ask, what's the one thing we're extracting from today? One sentence, no actions, no fixes, no future talk. That's it. How it rolls out tomorrow. You run ORCA as normal. If tomorrow is a clean day, you won't hear this question. If there is friction, I'll ask it automatically. Your answer becomes recorded, debrief, insight, not a task. This creates more interaction, more signal, zero bloat. ORCA versioning note. This is now part of ORCA v42.1. Change log. Tomorrow morning reference. Tuesday, weekday mode. 3 must-do tasks. Right, so what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to tell it that I didn't write a physical Kanban ticket to see if that triggers and if that is actually locked in. Okay, if this feels uncomfortably familiar, no need for you to keep watching, because you've already seen why Manic Monday keeps repeating. I actually got a YouTube live that I did on this. It's an unlisted video. If you want to see it, put Manic Monday YouTube, send it to me. I'll run a full process on this board on how we take Manic Monday, turn it from chaos, the lowest probability of ever fixing it, to the highest probability and the quickest way that you can possibly do it. Manic Monday, YouTube replay. If you want that video, you won't find it on YouTube. As I said, it's unlisted. DM me those words and I'll make sure you get the link. Take it, use it, make it a great week. And we'll speak soon. When I went to school, the teachers had a name for me. Disruptive. Turns out though, inside school with a K, that's my biggest advantage. Inside construction school, I run a community where project and business leaders come together to flip the script. We're literally building the anti-project management playbook. And that's driven by the fact that over 7 decades of data tells us that what the construction industry currently does doesn't work. We focus on the 12 causes of project failure and how we use the 9 rules of flow to mitigate them. What happens is you get less drama, more predictability, and leaders that start leading instead of reacting. So yes, I was disruptive in the classroom, but now that's being put to good use inside school. If you've got a disruptive streak and you want to start your own community or join construction school, there'll be a link around here somewhere, and I'm sure you know what to do next. That's school with a K, not the one with a CH. I really hated that place.